We're going to begin our Illustrator class by doing a tour of the Illustrator software. Let's start with the toolbar here on the side. You can make it either in 2 or 1 columns by just clicking on this double arrow to the left or to the right, like that. Now, let's start looking at these 4 tools. These are your selection tools, and we're going to be going in depth with this next week's lesson. This is the pen tool, which is a very powerful tool, and you will do beautiful things with this pen tool. The next is the type tool, and it too is powerful, and you will do amazing work with that. When you see a triangle at the lower right-hand corner of a tool, that means there are other tools under it. Now you can release all those tools by coming to the edge here with your mouse and releasing, and that will give you all the tools to work with, and you can put this wherever it's comfortable for you to work. If you click the X, it will take that off. Now, the line segment tool I have never used, nor the arc tool, but I have used the spiral tool and the rectangle grid tool. The object tools are something that you will use quite a bit of, especially in this class, and very creatively too, I will tell you. The paintbrush tool and the pencil tool with its tools underneath. One of the things you'll notice is as you mouse over some of the tools, a screen tip comes up with the name of the tool. I've never used the blob tool. This is the eraser tool, and under it is the scissors tool and the knife tool. The next 4 tools are transformation tools, and we're going to be making a lot of use of those. The shape builder tools and the perspective grid tool, which we have a beautiful project for that toward the end of the semester. The mesh tool, which allows you to color an object like if it was a fine painting. The gradient tool, the eyedropper tool, which allows you to sample colors, styles, shapes, type. It's a very useful tool. The blend tool, the symbol sprayer, the the chart tool, which is probably one of the best chart tools I've ever used, and I've done charts for many, many years. The Artboard tool and the slice tool, which you will use to make images for the internet, for websites. The hand tool, which allows you to move your artwork around, and the zoom tool. Now, I'm going to open a new document to show you some of the rest of the stuff. I'm going to call this new. The profile will be print. We will have 1 artboard and letter size. The units will be inches, and if I hit the advanced button here, I can make sure that I'm doing it in the CMY mode, K mode, and have it have a high resolution. Okay, so there we go. So now we've got that, and what I want to show you is here's your fill, and here is your stroke. You can switch those by clicking this little arrow up here, and you can go back to your default colors by clicking here. Here's your color and your gradient, and let's say you don't want a stroke. Then all you have to do is click on none, and you have no stroke. So let's go like that. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is look up here where it says Essentials. You can choose different types of tools that come up to be used automatically, either for the web or typography. We're going to use Essentials for the most part. Now, here is a panel that comes up. They used to be called palettes, and you can click on this little arrow and you will get some other menus to use for your panels. You can also click on these double arrows to make it go back into these areas on the side. Now, as you choose different tools, you will see that you have an option bar up here, and the options come up and change depending on which tools you are using. Now let's look at the drop-down menus. With File, you have New, of course, and New from Templates, and most of the usual ones. But you also can save for the web and save slices for the web. You can place, which is the same as import, and you can save for Microsoft Office. You can also export and make special scripts if you are that talented, and set up your document and your color mode, and you can print. The next is Edit, and you can undo the last action that you did by controlling Control Z, and you have 20 undos in Illustrator. And you can paste in different ways. You can also paste on all the artboards. Let's say you are doing collateral for letterhead, envelopes, and business cards. You could change all the artboards. These over here, these allow you to make changes to spelling and things to do with type. These have to do with different presets that you would have for some of the tools that you would be using. And here are your color settings and your profiles, and we'll get into that later. Now in objects, you can transform them, and you can arrange them either to back or in front, which would be helpful to you. Here are different ways you can group or lock an object or a selection. You can expand it, rasterize it, set your gradient mesh and transparencies, things of that nature. Here's where you control your slices for your internet stuff that you make. And here are your Pathfinder and your blend tools and patterns and stuff like that. What you're really going to like is the image trace. That is quite beautiful. And down here is some of your stuff for your graphs. Now with the type, you go to the font, and all the fonts are in alphabetical order. When there is an arrow to the side, that tells you what styles come with that type font. This is your recent fonts, your glyphs, and again, a lot of this has to do with changing case and using smart punctuation, which we'll talk about later, and showing hidden characters. Here, this allows you to select everything, to deselect, to select the inverse, to select an object above or below, and to select, say, something of all the same color. Say somebody comes and says, I hate this color. You can change it just by saying, select this color, and it'll select everything that is of that color. You can also select objects like stray points. Here are your filters, and here are all of your vector filters. Down here are your raster filters, and you can use both of these in Illustrator. Here are your views, and you have different types of view, outline, and we're going to be using these views a lot throughout the whole 16 weeks. And we're going to start using some of the things today like rulers and guides, that sort of thing. Now, in Windows, you have, of course, you can do your workspace just like we did up in the corner there. There's always two places to do everything in Illustrator. And you can arrange things, uh, whether you float your windows or your objects, cascade all the documents that you have open. But here, in this section here, are all your panels, and they are in alphabetical order, and they are very easy to find for that reason. Now, every time you have a arrow to the side, that means that there's more panels to do with that, such as in type, or the brush library, or the graphic style library. And let's not forget help. We all need help, so make sure that you use it and use it wisely. This is the bridge. I don't use it because it's so memory hungry. And this is just for arranging your documents, which we were able to do under View also. Okay, so that's it, and we're going to close this up now, and our next project is going to be our scribble sheet. So I will see you then, and thank you very much. Goodbye.